Yeah, it's starting to snow again. We've gone through the gauntlet since this morning. 3 o'clock this morning it was raining. 9 o'clock this morning it was snowing. 1 o'clock it was sunshine. And then at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock it was sleeting. Now it's snowing again. And just got a winter weather advisory in effect tonight from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. 3 to 5 inches of snow. So that's what we're dealing with here. And just thought I'd show. I mentioned the other day if I can grow corn with no fertilizer, with just manure. Well, this is the other little bit I got. Some of this stuff over here is probably 8-10 years old. This is black gold over here. Dig down into that, nice dark black stuff. So I say, I think if I can, and that end out there is probably at least 8 foot to 10 foot high, and it tapers back down to here. So it's, so I say, if I can get this on the field to shut nothing else, it would grow some corn. Might not grow the best crop, but it'll save me a couple $1,000s. And the other thing I was going to talk about is, they're still screwing the dairy farmers. All farmers really, but right now it's more dairy, I think. Like I say, in our area, there's actually 3 places you can ship milk through. DFA, Dean's, which is soon to be defunct by the end of the month, and Farmers Union. And there's roughly 45 guys in this area that ship through Farmers Union, but they don't have no processing plant. They're just contracted through other milk company. It's actually a cheese plant to market their milk. Like I say, I don't know how much or what is true, but I've heard a couple different stories, but they're jerking around everybody already. I was told here just the beginning of the week or last week or sometime here that Farmers Union was shut off. I've heard a couple different stories. One, that they were all shut off. Another story I heard only 4 of them were shut off. Now see, with Farmers Union and DFA, we actually have marketing agreements, and supposedly they're written in there that they can't shut you off just because there's too much milk. Of course, these are unprecedented circumstances, so who knows? But they can only shut you off for chronic quality violations. Well, if it was everybody, I find it awful funny that everybody had chronic quality violations at one time. A milk tester told me it was only 4 farms, and the one farm was due to test this week, and he called her and she went in early, and they sampled all the cows. When we do the milk testing to get the weights, butterfat test, protein test, cell count, other solids, and none of his cows showed any high tests. Now, they told him they were shutting them off because of high counts, but he wasn't in violation yet. And like she said, he's never that high. Well, when they got the test results back from the cows, his tests came back less than half of what the milk company said he was running. So that's telling me that they're monkeying around trying to jerk. I think they're just trying to get guys to quit, or they're manipulating things to shut guys off. But anyway, the story I heard there where they were all shut off, I was also told that their lawyer went to them and did get them a 30-day extension. So I don't know if these guys are actually going to have a milk market here by the end of the month or not. And as far as that marketing agreement goes, I don't know. I'm sure there's a loophole for the milk companies. Like I said, I'm not exactly sure I'm safe now, because In it, I know I have to give 45 days notice prior to my anniversary date if I want to ship milk somewhere else. And the contract automatically renews yearly. Well, you ain't gonna ship anywhere else right now, but I'm sure there's somewhere in there where they can give you 45 days notice prior to your anniversary date. You know, my anniversary date is June, and I believe it's the 12th. So I basically gotta, I might get a letter here by the end of the month, who knows. So that's just some more bad news for the dairy industry, for at least several farms in our area. Now Dean's, they say DFA is a co-op, and what you'd actually consider, Farmers Union must be a union. But Dean's is an independent company, so they only had to give you 30 days notice, and then I probably really didn't even have to do that, but they could give you 30 days notice at any time for any reason. But like I say, that don't matter with Dean's anymore. They're going to be DFA shippers by the end of the month. So I was looking into some other stuff. There's that, you hear low interest loans, grants and stuff through this CARE stimulus package that they just signed. It's $2.2 trillion. So I got on the internet. I looked at some videos this morning. I just typed in, what did I type in? COVID stimulus bill. There's stimulus loans. I think it was stimulus loans. And I watched a couple of videos this morning, and they took, one guy gave quite a bit of decent information. He took you right to the page, and he filled out a simulated application, and it's basically 3 pages. You're self-certifying yourself. And then it's www.sba.gov. And you get into the EDIL, emergency disaster, I forget what the hell the I is. L is loan. And you look around, you eventually see a place that says apply. And it's simple. Like I say, you go in there, first box basically asks if you are a business with less than 500 employees. And in this box, you got to check one of them. And the second was a sole proprietorship with no employees, or a self-employed contractor, I believe it said. That's the one I checked. Then you go down to the next box, and there is, I believe it was 7 items, and you had to check all of them. And they were like that you are not behind on child alimony, that you don't make more than a third of your income from legal gambling, that you're not involved with state, local, municipality governments or Congress. There's several things. But you get down to the one that I have a problem with. It says that you are not an agricultural enterprise, example, farm, other than aquaculture, agricultural co-op, or nursery. So I am a farm, a dairy farm, an agricultural enterprise, so I can't check that box. If I do, it's under the penalty of perjury. Whether they ever go back and check, I don't know, because it's all self-certifying. Now, the guy said the day before he made this video, you had to supply tax return documents. The day he made the video, he was online again, and now you don't have to supply no tax documents. But all you do is you fill out that first page, you get to the next one, you got to put in your business name, your EIN number, Social Security, the address, and answer a few questions there. You go to the next page, they need your last year's gross income, your cost of product, and a few other things. Then you get into your tax or your banking information, because this could be it's supposed to be approved within about 3 days. They're basically going off of your credit score to approve this. And you can apply, I guess it's up to $2 million. From what I could find on there, it's a 2-year payback, and you could be up, I've seen between 1% and 3.75% interest on it. So this isn't anything you're going to bail yourself out with. This is just to keep you afloat. But you can use the money for payroll. If you use the money for payroll, utilities, rent, interest on certain things, you can write that off and you don't even have to pay it back. But other things, it's considered a loan and you pay it back. Now, if you are denied, you're pretty much guaranteed a $10,000 grant, and it's the same thing. I'd have to read the wording again, but you got to use it for payroll and that stuff. And if you do, you don't pay it back. But I'm not sure even if that $10,000 never has to be paid back, if it's a grant, or if you do use it for something else towards your business, that you got to pay it back. But anyway, because I can't check that box as agricultural enterprise, that I'm not an agricultural enterprise, basically I can't do it. And like I say, you're self-certifying, whether how thorough they check. But like for me, as soon as I put in my business name, I got dairy farm in my business name. And when I put in my bank information, whether they're just looking at the routing number and your account number, I don't know. But if they do check into it, I got business name on the checking account. So regardless, I'm pretty much screwed on doing anything with that business loan through the stimulus. Now there is $25 billion in that stimulus bill for agriculture that I know for sure. I've heard somebody say $35 billion. I've heard a couple other numbers, but 25 is the number I saw. But if it's like the tariff subsidies we got, and I believe that was $12 billion, I got a total of $900 out of that. So I ain't holding my breath for much into that. Then there's another program through FSA. It actually works like, it's basically insurance. You got to buy up coverage, and it's a margin protection, and it's the difference between the cost of milk and the cost of the feed, basically the difference in that margin. And minimum, the base coverage is $5 difference. And you can buy up to $9 coverage. And it doesn't make sense because they pay on the $9 before they'll pay on the $5. But the $5 is just a $100 administrative fee. And I do have that coverage. I didn't think I took it last year, but I did. I think because there was something in there where they were able to waive that $100, so I got the minimum coverage. But even last year, I didn't sign up last year, and most people didn't because nothing was projected to be like this, and they're not even sure if it will pay on this or not because of the being a virus disease, not a natural disaster type thing. But they're checking into it. It's supposed to get back. But the way it worked last year, because I didn't sign up for 2019 either, but it actually kicked in and paid from January through I think June. And there was over $4,000 I was eligible for. But you had to have the $9 coverage to get it. To get the $9 coverage was a $1,300 premium. Well, last year they worked it where you could go in, sign up for it, they issued the money, and then you had 30 days to go in and pay that $1,300 premium. Now, it depends how much milk you send. Some guys could be paying $5,000-$6,000 premium. But that's the way they did it last year. And then they asked me if I wanted to sign up this year, and I'm like, why would I want to spend another $1,300? And nobody expected to pay out. And that's what they said. A lot of people didn't sign up. But I did see something where they're looking into opening the enrollment. So something like that might kick in. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But right now, I still haven't found anything of that's going to give me any relief. So I still got to look at cutting costs. Milk tester was here this morning. Like I say, I cut roughly 10% of the grain out of the mix to get the cows to drop on milk. Like I say, this is what everybody needs to be doing, but they're not going to do it. But I cut grain out of the mix. My pounds of production has gone down. It's roughly gone. Well, it's kind of hard to tell. I didn't figure it out, but it's in that 10% range too. Like I say, they dropped some on milk, but on test, my average per cow is the same. So, but I dried up cows from last month. I got less cows milking this month compared to last month. But because they work on an average. So they have dropped some, and I haven't completely looked, but there's probably at least 3 cows I'm just going to dry up early too. So, and that's the last thing I'm going to leave with here is a couple other things I figured out guys could do to cut down on production. If you're milking 3 times a day, go down to 2 times a day. Just milking that extra time a day, 1 time a day, cows will produce 10 to 15 pounds more milk. So go back down to 2 times a day. I forgot the last one I was going to say. I had another simple thing. Oh well, I'll come to it too eventually. But yeah, like I say, cut feed out of the grain, or grain out of the feed. Cut dry cows up early. Like I say, there's a lot of things you could do. Selling cows ain't a very viable option either. I guess a lot of the packing plants are closing and stuff too. I'm hearing hamburgers $6 a pound in the store now. So that's why I got to load up tomorrow. My nephew has a butcher shop, and my wife talked to him there the other day, and he said probably June 2nd. We had an appointment made from last year, and it was still up until June. Well, they just called today. I guess they had a cancellation, so if I got one to bring over, I can take it over tomorrow. So that's what I'm looking at doing. Because like I say, I got to make sure I keep feed for myself. It's getting to the point I don't care if the rest of the people eat or not. Because like I say, they're jerking something around in the store. I'm still hearing limitations and stuff. So, like I say, it ain't looking good, but I'm going to figure something out here yet. So thanks for watching, and we'll try to find something else to do later. Started going through the corn planters. I've got some fun I found in that I'll go over. So we'll catch you later.